Big Apple, 3 a.m.
When I was a little kid, my cousin and I used to play the Super Nintendo like crazy, but we would usually stick to select games that allowed 2 players, especially 2 players at once, unlike Super Mario Bros. So we usually played Mortal Kombat trilogy of games, or that Zombies Ate My Neighbors game, and even Kirby Superstar, which is my favorite Kirby game to this day. But one game we never could beat nor get far in, no matter how hard we tried, was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 4, Turtles in Time. This game was just on another level of difficult for us. We even stayed up past 3 a.m. one night just to try and beat it. Yet, it was a lost cause. Like ever hoping we'd see change in American politics by electing the little guys. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 4, Turtles in Time was originally an arcade game, which shows in its levels of BS mechanics. No matter how hard you try, you will get hit, you will die, you will lose all your lives, you will waste all of your continues. I mean, it's the arcade after all. It's all about that quarter milking. Even home ports of arcade games still lack balance to accommodate the fact they're no longer arcade games, but home console games. So I decided I needed a cheat if I ever wanted to complete this game. So I just gave myself infinite lives with Game Genie.
Your intellect is as weak as your dollar. Failure is your destiny. You disrespect yourself and your nation. You are made of stupid.
The game is single player and 2 player only, even though there's 4 turtles. You can only select up to 2 if you have someone to play with. I don't, cause I'm a 29-year-old man who still plays video games. You think anyone wants to be associated with me?
You ain't lying.
So I played alone and chose the most popular and best turtle, Mikey. After that, it was time for Big Apple, 3 a.m., where you fight on a construction site full of Foot Clan ninjas. Crane's robot shows up to zap you, and there's an annoying wrecking ball trap. We'll quickly go over the controls in combat. You use the D-pad to move around, B to jump, and Y attacks. You can combine B and Y to do a special attack, which eats up your health, for some reason. Otherwise, you can jump then attack to just jump attack without the special to avoid losing life. Yeah, okay. You can throw enemies, but they need to be stunned first to throw them into the screen, a gimmick that's needed for a boss fight against Shredder later on. Double tapping the D-pad or holding the D-pad down in any direction that you want long enough will allow you to dash. If you're running, you can attack and that unleashes a shoulder ram. Then finally, while running, you can jump to slide. While the controls in combat are basic, they're pretty fun still to this day. Especially because it's easy, you can pull off moves without much of a hassle unlike other beat-em-ups. It plays very smooth too, unlike the Streets of Rage series. So you use all of these to fight through the Big Apple, 3 a.m. Defeat the boss, which is Baxter, the scientist who got turned into a fly monster. Next up is Alley Cat Blues, where you fight through the streets during the daytime, using fire hydrants to blow away foot ninjas, and dodging manhole covers and manholes. But unlike in TMNT 2, I didn't notice if I was losing health or not from these manholes. From when you fall into them, I mean. I got stuck in one though at one point, thinking I'll need to reset the game, because when you move too far to the right, the camera will lock in so you can't move back to the left. So I got stuck in the manhole and kept falling back into the manhole before the game decided, okay, we're gonna have you get out into the right side now so you're no longer stuck. Yeah, thanks. You'll fight Metalhead, a robotic ninja turtle, as the boss, before moving on to the sewer surfing, which is full of cheap shots and near impossible to avoid traps like the spike bars from the ceiling and spiky mines. My toe! My toe! We get to see the pizza monsters here and fight Rat King. Not one of my favorite levels, in fact it's my least favorite, next to the second and last surfing level later on. Next up is one of the best levels, Technodrome. Let's kick shell, with various Foot Clan ninjas and robots. Gotta hate these robots, they move fast and zap you easily. Also, ninjas vary in color to signify what their attacks are. The purple are your generic foot, blue usually uses various weapons depending on the level, from swords to the twin sai. Yellow loves to throw bombs, then run off. Orange throws knives. White uses nunchucks, you name it. This is a small detail that tells players how they'll need to fight each one and who is a priority. Eventually you'll fight Toka and Razar, who are my favorite villains simply because of the live action movies I grew up with. After fighting them and taking an elevator, you'll face Shredder, who's in his little machine you must chuck ninjas at to do damage. This is easily one of the weakest fights in the game because of the view obstruction and how easy it tends to be. It's a mix of annoying and boring, but once defeated, he sends the turtles throughout history and face several more villains along the way.
Prehistoric Turtlesaur.
Now you'll go through various time periods starting with BC, with ninjas and dinosaurs. This level is where me and my cousin would get stuck and never beat no matter how hard we tried. But I'm an adult now, and I can say it's not that challenging, except the dinosaur stampede is a pain, and the boss, Slash, is a cheap-shotting bitch. Like seriously, this guy is so unbalanced, always hitting you and blocking your attacks. It took forever to beat him. Now I remember why we never could beat this level. Slash is one of the worst bosses in gaming, just because of his cheapness. Seriously, he takes forever. This is definitely a part of the game in the arcade where you would be putting in a lot of quarters. But after kicking his ass, I was sent to pirate time. This level is boring and not interesting to me, as I was never huge into pirates growing up, even though I was pretty young when the Pirates of the Caribbean became a thing. Also, the boards on the ship can come up and hit you, and only you. In fact, every single hazard and trap is only harmful to the player. Bullshit. But after fighting non-stop Foot Clan members, I was greeted by the well-known Rocksteady and Bebop, dressed up like pirates. They were pretty easy, so we're now moving on to the 1800s with a train level. Oh boy, G-Man Lives will proclaim this his favorite level for sure. That guy is so easy to win over. Just toss a train level into a game, and it's automatically good with him. So you fight through the train as ninjas ride horses to jump onto it and wear sombreros waiting for you to come towards them, with the boss being an alligator or a crocodile or whatever. I never watched the original TV show, so I don't know who this guy is. Is he original, or is he part of the show's original run? Can someone who's a boomer tell me who this guy is?
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard.
After that, we get to the last surfing level, which is just awful. I hate it. Full of so many cheap shots and hard to hit enemies due to the perspective at play. But thankfully in the end, we get a decent boss fight against Crane and his robot. which is easy surprisingly. Now we're at the home stretch. Only 2 more levels to go. Next, we're sent into the future to fight Crane on a planet Starbase? Fighting various Foot Clan robots, dodging laser traps, and then fighting Crane as Shredder watches. Crane isn't easy nor fun. He's cheap and takes barely any damage and dodges your attacks. But unlike Slash, can be avoided yourself without getting locked into a stun after each attack, quickly draining your life. You'll eventually drop these annoying robots that shoot zapping rings at you. They're not easy to dispatch as they move so fast and have tiny hitboxes. He'll keep spamming these as you try to sap away at his own health, but eventually Crane is defeated once and for all, with a portal opening in the TV screen, so we can go and face Shredder for one final battle.
Technodrome, the final shell shock.
Out of all the bosses, I'll say I was disappointed in Shredder. He's the easiest boss, which isn't how the final boss works. But still, he does have his moments with fire surrounding him, so you can't damage him anymore, and he throws fire at you. But compared to TMNT 2, the arcade game for NES, this guy's a total pushover. This guy makes Shredder from that game look like a Dark Souls boss. But after beating this guy, I was given the middle finger by the game, cause I didn't beat it on hard. Wait, what? What? It's one of those games, huh? Well, that's fine. I won't bother. Though I've already beaten the game and seen everything it has to offer. Also, the ending isn't much different if you beat it on hard according to videos I looked up to see if I did miss anything, but nope. Still, I had fun, and glad I used an infinite lives cheat, otherwise this wouldn't be a possible review. This game is full of arcade BS mechanics, and genuine challenge, but mostly BS. Yet, that doesn't hold it back from being fun, and I can only imagine how much better the full arcade cabinet with 4 players would have been. At the end of the day, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 4 Turtles in Time, yeah, try saying that 10 times fast, is an arcade classic that has a great port to console. The only con is it's not an easy game still because of its arcade roots. So if you play it, just remember, you can use cheats or even better, just lower the difficulty. I only ever got as far as the dinosaur level as a kid with my cousin, but I'm glad to have finally finished the fight, even if I cheated. But the game cheats too, with its BS mechanics. It's all is fair in bullshit and war. Go play this game on any platform it's available on. It's a must play. So go ahead and play on an SNES, through an emulation, through like a Nintendo service, or even the Cowabunga collection. Anyways, that's it for this video. See you all later.